I just wanted to say, uh, 10 years ago, I started to work on my PhD, and it was very difficult, but I succeeded. Unlike Carlos and Steven, who who tried to start a website 10 years ago.
I didn't try to start a website.
Oh, she brought the website up, dude. She brought the website up. The savagery.
I started working on the website, and then I started getting laid, so it didn't matter as much.
Yeah, meanwhile, Miwa was getting a real PhD.
But then I got married and had a kid, so obviously I stopped getting laid, and that's why the website's actually online now.
Oh, okay.
See, I can't talk shit because I don't have a PhD or a website. I just have a Let's Play.
Yeah, but Mexi, again, her PhD ain't real, so don't worry about it.
I don't have a PhD or website or getting laid.
I mean, it's like, I at least get laid. Like, that's at least my own perk, so I'll claim that.
Don't rub it in, Mexi. The poor guy just said he don't get none of it. Don't rub it in his face.
Look, I'm all for rubbing all my gay sex in Steven's face.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Happy Halloween.
Yay.
Yes.
So a lot of these neighbors, they're as annoying as the fucking flickies in Sonic 3D because they don't do shit to protect themselves. They just stand there like fucking morons.
They
Waste to
do,
die.
and the cheerleaders actually, while they're jumping, their hitbox is deactivated. So, you'll notice a few times I'm just kind of like standing still right under a cheerleader, waiting for them to finish jumping, so that I can eventually save them. Also, I did a little trick there because a spider spawns right next to that cheerleader. But if you're on the edge of the screen, you can use a Pandora's box to kill the spider, or once again, if you fill all 6 enemy slots, the spider won't spawn and you'll be able to save the cheerleader. So again, the game is actually legitimately stacked against you. Like, it's not just a hard game, it's kind of intentionally trying to dick you over occasionally. I also like this technique too, where if you have your back against a wall, the recoil from using the rocket is decreased, so you can actually shoot rockets a bit faster. So that's why you'll occasionally see me shoot a whole bunch of rockets with my back against the wall. And yeah, this is another level that you can earn the 10 cheerleader bonus for. Other ones include using no rockets. There is an extermination bonus. There is a mass destruction bonus, which unfortunately does not play the battle theme for Persona 3, but, you know, we can always hope and dream in the future.
I don't play those anime games, you fool.
Hush up, I had to talk a lot about anime games because I talk about anime on the internet sometimes.
You sicken me.
I'm so sorry I've disappointed you. At least I don't talk about blue hedgehogs.
True, that's a good point. Well made.
This is actually one of my favorite songs on the soundtrack, just because, at least in the SNES version, you have the voice part that's distorted over that sounds like it's saying, "Is there anyone outside?" Like, it's a little, it's super creepy in this game, but at this point, it's just really nostalgic. In the Genesis version, they skip out on the whole distorted voice part, but...
What's up, Miwa?
I was just thinking about or the things I could do and think about, and I was thinking Carlos can probably name everyone who's spoken Knuckles off the top of his head.
Wow.
Sure, I can.
Do it.
Hope you guys are ready for Big Terror in Alien Ant Farm. Junk 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 junk.
Alien Ant Farm.
They're a band where their only good song is a terrible cover of one of the greatest pop songs of all time.
Hey, I kind of like their song Movies. because in the music video they dressed up like Ghostbusters before that became a terrible thing to do thanks to the internet.
Voice actors, Knuckles, go.
Let's see. We have in Sonic Underground. We have Brian Drummond in the Sonic OVA. I believe it's a gentleman called Bill Wise. Oh, you know what? I think I may be fucked because I do not remember the gentleman who voiced him in SA1. It's Michael something. In Sonic Shuffle, it's Ryan Drummond. In Sonic SA2 through Sonic Advance 3, it's Scott Dreyer. From Shadow the Hedgehog to Sonic Unleashed, even though he's not in Sonic Unleashed, and Sonic X, it is Dan Green. And then, of course, from I guess Sonic Colors DS version to now, including Sonic Boom, it was Travis Willingham. And if you want to get super nerdy, if you want to include Eddie LeBron's Sonic fan film, good old Igor Raptor voices Knuckles in that.
This has been your obligatory Sonic trivia for whatever playthrough is on the channel, regardless of relevance, for today. Thank you.
To be fair, Beaver was the one who called that out, so that wasn't me bringing it. And I'm sure I got maybe one of those wrong, but off the top of my head, that is everyone who was voiced Knuckles.
Look, I'm gonna be honest. You surprised me with the fact that Ryan Drummond voiced Knuckles at one point. It's like, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, no, I think Ryan Drummond may have voiced because he voiced. Actually, no, I think Jason Griffith may have
Has he voiced all 3 Sonic heroes? Is there like a random fucking video out there where he's also Tails at some point?
No, although I think there's audio files buried in SA2 that shows that Drummond either at one point was the voice or at least did temp dialogue for Shadow.
With this level, this is another one where they get kind of clever. All the victims in this level are going to be the archaeologists, but unfortunately, you don't get an all-archaeologist bonus. They only do that for getting 10 cheerleaders.
That's some bullshit.
Yeah, like, think of all the PhDs that the collective victims that we save have, and we don't get a single bonus point for them. Like, at least one of these guys has to have a PhD in zombology, the study of zombies.
Zombology.
It's 5th grade stuff, SpongeBob.
I wombo, you wombo.
We should start that course. Zombology. Just play this game and then you get a C rank.
It's literally just me playing 100% Zombies Ate My Neighbors over and over and explaining every single movement that I make on this run.
This cost $100 grand.
Yeah, well, baby's gotta pay for Top Ramen too, okay? Alright.
Top Ramen too?
Always gotta make sure you get those question marks, because that's where we get those bonus levels. I make sure I visit all of them, because that's kind of what constitutes 100%. It's not just saving all the victims, it's saving all the victims in all the levels. So see, you get 10 archaeologists, but they don't count that as an achievement. It's like, those are probably like pioneers of their industry, but oh no, we care about cheerleaders, because high school, I guess.
Well, let's be fair. There were 10 archaeologists lost in that pyramid. They were clearly not very good archaeologists. The cheerleaders are just...
They're in school. That's it. Or in the case of the other level, they kind of had it shaped like a dorm room, which is questionable, but you know, we'll roll with it.
They were pure and innocent. These archaeologists are all stupid. They deserve to die.
These are all guys who have fucked in college.
Smash Brothers tier list has fucked in college archaeologists.
Has fucked in and also, Curse of the Pharaoh is probably the best bonus level. You know, if you had to get only one bonus level in the whole game, you should probably get Curse of the Archaeologist, just because it is a stockpile of Pandora's boxes. You just get so many the level throws at you, and it's honestly really nice to save for the later levels that are coming up. I was a chainsaw maniac. I still am.
What's this, Time Cop?
Well, there was a reason I invited you guys specifically.
I want to redo Time Cop.
Time Cop is still one of my favorite things we've ever done.
You know what? I will always pitch that as one of our best playthroughs. I mean, I know y'all love your Sanix or whatever, but you know, that time me, Gareth, and Steven talked about a shitty adaptation of a shitty 80s, 90s action movie. Best times.
With Evil Screech, it was great.
You're also going to start noticing with the game that I'm picking up skeleton keys more often. The game does a really good job of actually balancing out the skeleton keys, despite the fact that for most of the early levels, a lot of the drops are randomly generated. You're going to start seeing that the levels incorporate the skeleton keys more often in their design. Mandatory victims are going to start being behind walls that require skeleton keys, but the levels start to actually include them as a pickup. So you're never really at a point where you're stuck, but you should always, pick up those keys so that you can save all of the victims.
I'm very distracted by off to the right in my related videos. There's a man who has no shirt on, and the title is called My First Day in Prison.
That might be they just pulled that because of stuff you look at. Because all of mine are just Sonic things and MBM's other videos. Have you been looking at men in prison videos in your spare time, Steven?
Right? All my related things are like hour-long videos talking about Dark Souls 2 and Hollow Knight. Like, I get it. Video games have lore and you nerds want to talk about it for hours on a video. But should you really? Should you?
One of my videos, it's taken footage of Jerry and Rick and Morty listening to human music, and the name of the video is just called Human Music.
To be fair, I am quite fond of human music as a human.
Human.
I've talked about the monster potion, how it makes you invincible and gives you, all the powers of the fist. The blue potion, I'm not quite sure if it's supposed to turn you into a water-based entity or is meant to turn you into a ghost, but it's extremely helpful for these.
It's blasphemous.
Right? They're extremely helpful for these water-based levels just because it gives you an opportunity to actually outrun the Squidmen. Because in the water, the Squidmen can outswim you. So turning into a ghost for those levels is extremely helpful. There's also the random potions. I don't actually use one, but they have the chance of turning you into the monster, the ghost. You can lose health, or you can turn into a zombie, in which case you kind of lose control of your character and they sort of walk around for a little bit. But for this run, at least, I try to at least I try to manage my potions at least to make sure I have the right potions for the right time, to make sure I have enough ghost potions for water levels, to make sure I have monster potions for levels that I want to get through. These house levels are super cool because you can go out on the ledge here, but you do need to know that the slants on the roof, they have slant physics. So even though you can't really see the perception there, they are programmed accurately as a slope. So if you want to walk up, you have to, walk up the slope, and there is sort of a resistance there. It's kind of weird.
Why didn't you just use Kazooie to walk on those?
Because instead of Kazooie, I have bazookas.
Bazooie?
And here is the next type of boss in this game is the giant spider.
Just a giant fucking. I'm scared now. I'm gonna go by.
Arachnophobia, and this is what getting the flamethrower is exceptionally helpful for, because the spider, for obvious reasons, does not like getting burned with a flamethrower in its eyeballs. But it does lay down those webs.
Well, I like how you said that, as if other things are fine with that. I think most things alive don't enjoy getting burnt in the eyeballs, Mexi. Let's be fair now.
I'm sure that the fire babies are probably okay with it. They literally live someplace warm. Like, don't come at me with that weak ass shit, Gareth. I am here. This is my game. We're not talking about anthropomorphic blue fuzzballs, alright? This ain't momentum-based gameplay. This is arcade hardcore zombie shooting neighbor saving action. This is my turf.
No, you just said those slopes had momentum like that. No, fuck you. You just contradicted yourself.
Those slopes have bad momentum. That literally just puts them on the same level as your game.
Kirby, Kirby ain't got no momentum. Kirby's a better game than Sonic.
Kirby can roll down slopes, can he? He does like a... No, I'm thinking of Trip World. My bad. I'm thinking of the better game.
How dare you?
Also, now the levels are starting to get really BS. This level's kind of shitty because just a lot of issues in terms of making sure you get to victims before they get touched by the bad guys. But speed shoes help you out a lot.
Just like in Sonic.
Once you pass Monster Phobia and you pass the spider boss, it's really the testing ground for this game, because then they start really dicking you over and they start throwing everything at you. They start throwing like Frankenstein monsters with werewolves and vampires, when usually those are meant to be like one per level. It's kind of neat. It sort of feels like this is the point where the designers, like, they're done like babying you. These are kind of like their true fun ideas that they were trying to get at, but some of them go a little overboard. But you know, that's what planning and proper routing is for.
Hey Miwa, what is your favorite monster? Like vampire, zombie, werewolf, Republican? What is it?
You. It's you.
It's me. Oh no.
You?
I've become everything I hate.
So her favorite monster is white people. JK, it's just the British.
The British. I get it. They're scary.
Might actually be accurate.
You know, I've never been insulted for accomplishing something before. And neither have you.
Do it better next time and you won't.
And neither have you, but for a different reason.
Oh snap!
See, Mira, exactly it. See, Mira, if you don't accomplish anything in your life, you can't be insulted for it. Checkmate.
Yeah.
Isn't that just what Vince Vaughn says at the beginning of Dodgeball? Aim low.
Pretty much.
If that's the last you got on me, then I'm pretty happy with that.
I hope you all are totally okay with the clown decoys laughing, because I use them a lot in this level.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I'm fine with that.
That's fine. Good, because it's really good. The vampires have, like I said, a homing projectile attack, and this is a level where they throw a bunch of vampires at you, so I'm gonna use a shit ton of decoy clowns, sometimes more than one. Gets a little annoying audio-wise, but it's my playthrough. Suck it up.
Suck it up like a vampire. Sucking blood.
Yeah, see, it's a blood vampire thing.
Yeah. And clowns.
You can use the cross to kill the vampires. They just take a lot of hits, so saving up the clown decoys is a really great idea. In terms of the secondary items, they're really good. Most of the secondary items are going to be very niche based, unless it's the health packs. The health packs, for obvious reasons, are just super OP and the greatest things you want to keep with you. Keys are especially important, but you can always substitute a key with a rocket, unless it's a skeleton key door.
Just like in real life.
Just like in real life.
Because, you know, if you go to a door, you ain't got a key, fire a rocket at it, no problem, son.
Just like real life in Resident Evil. The Pandora's boxes, greater for early game or for the bosses. But it's really, there's a lot of weapons, and you'll cycle through too many, but in terms of the secondary weapons, they're all pretty useful. This level also starts with one giant snakeoid for reasons aside to just give you a reason to have to kill it to get a skeleton key. If you brought a skeleton key here from another level, you can just skip fighting that snakeoid, but you know, he conveniently popped his head like right at the spot, because the snakeoids, my strategy for them is to bait them to appear and then using the knockback from the rockets to kind of dodge when he's trying to eat you, I guess is supposed to be like what that animation shows. So you kind of bait, jump back, and all while doing that you want to keep shooting rockets at their stupid faces.
Just like me and Gareth in bed. Is this kid a part of the Crips and all the monsters are Bloods?
Aww. We already passed the level Crips and Fish.
Okay, so no joke. In the 90s, I'm not sure if this was a thing in America, but in England, when I was like a kid, Burger King, for their like kids meals, they had like this group of like human kids who would like go and like get the meals and shit. And they were like 90s extreme. No fucking joke. This little fucking douchebag looks like one of the Burger King Happy Meal kids.
He does.
And now I want an extended universe where this is an officially licensed Burger King game.
No, but I know what you were talking about. It was the Burger King Kids Club, and
Yep.
well, I only remember because the Burger King by my house when I was growing up in Colorado, they never updated it, so they painted this whole like mural for the Burger King Kids Club, and it just never went away. So they always had this picture of the Kids Club. It's like, yeah, there they are. And the one you're talking about is KidVid.
How the fuck do you remember that?
I went to Burger King a lot, alright? They have really good onion rings.
Yeah, because Burger King don't do Happy Meals, you fucking idiot.
Hey, they did in England. You don't know anything. If you had a PhD, you'd know that.
Shut up. I'll kill you. Here I come.
It's like it's like being threatened by Winnie the Pooh. It's too adorable.
I'm on my way.
She'll get there by the next part.
Get the chopper.
Can I please get your address, though?
Can I please get your address? So the bodies can hit the floor. Oh!